video games, and lost media. Alright, so if you're familiar with the MySims franchise, then you'll probably be familiar with MySims Agents. MySims Agents is a game that was developed for Nintendo DS and the Wii. And this game was very popular. It was a very popular game in the MySims community. It was a lot of people that liked this game to the point where like people wanted more. It left the people wanting to know more. They wanted more lore to the story. They wanted the story to continue because this was an amazing game that a lot of people just couldn't get enough of, including myself, since I grew up playing the game. Played it several times. I played it recently, like a few years ago, probably like 2 years ago. And it's one of my favorite MySims games till this day. But back then, I came across this thing where they said that MySims Agents 2 was in development, but it never seen the light of day. And a lot of people wanted MySims Agents 2 because a lot of people liked this game. This was a popular game. And at the time when people had discovered that MySims 2, it was not a lot of information on it, but you could read up on like what it was supposed to be. It was like stuff that other people found, and they put out the stuff together. Like the stuff, it was information that they found about MySims Agents 2, either from reading stuff. I'm not sure. That was many years ago since I looked into this. So basically the game is that you're an agent, right? And you're going to different places investigating and solving crimes from like many different people hire you to solve crimes, and you get to go to different places, and along the way you meet other agents as well. But let me also read the plot of the series so you guys can be familiar with it, since some of you aren't familiar with MySims Agents. Probably like a few of you guys, but I'm familiar with it. The game starts with an introduction by Buddy, who has made a best-selling comic book about a special agent who saves the world based on real-life events. He explains the agent in his comic book was actually his best friend who had saved the world from mass destruction. The player starts out as a neighborhood detective solving cases for the residents in the city, such as finding out who is the real owner of the Dogwood, but hopes to one day become a special agent. Agent Walker, one of the head special agents with the Sims Protection Agency, noticed efforts and promotes them to special agent. The player's first cases as special agent include finding Shirley's secret admirer and who started the fire at Chef Gino Delicioso's pizzeria. After solving those cases, Walter gives the player their own headquarters with 5 floors, even a private jet. As the game progresses, the players start realizing Mercubus and his War Q Corp affiliates are up to something fishy involving the Crown of Nightmares. Every case comes with new areas to uncover, along with more truth getting uncovered while trying to stop Mercubus from getting the Nightmare Crown. So that's basically the complete story of MySims Agents. In order to know or visually understand what this all means, you have to play the game. And the story is different in each game, I believe. In the Wii version, that's the Wii version I just read. Okay, so let's talk about MySims Agents 2. As I said before earlier in the video, I said that back then we knew about the MySims Agents 2 sequel. We knew about it, and we knew it was scrapped and stuff, but it wasn't a lot of information out about it at the time. It was just stuff that people had found and then, put together. And I don't think they really had sources, but it was just stuff that people found information on, like the information they found on the sequel, and they just put it together. Because I was familiar with this for a long time. But recently, somebody came out and shared information about MySims Agents 2. Okay, so MySims Agents 2 was the planned sequel to the successful MySims Agents. It was shelved from production in fall 2009 and was replaced by MySims Skyheroes. There were various concept arts of the finest boss in the game, Morgan, that were posted on the internet by a concept artist of MySims. The game featured new gameplay mechanics like using a grapple to climb. Brian Kaiser, a designer of MySims Agents, has shared an old story outline of the sequel on Twitter on May the 12th, 2023. Now, where was I when this was released? But, I haven't played this game in years, even though I recently bought it a couple of years ago. Okay, so he says, in September the 2015, I teased the idea that I might dig up my old story outline for the Council EA project, MySims Agents 2. Today, in May of 2023, I got called out on it. So now, because he demanded it, the Agents 2 reveal. It's been years since I wrote this, so there were a lot of surprises to rediscover. Apparently, we were designing a grappling hook mechanic. Also, we plan to reuse Jagomir and Svetlana. I think that's what that is. That's what he said. Okay, so here's the MySims 2 high level story overview. Okay, so Skip's mansion. You drop right into the action, infuriating Skip Rogers' coastal mansion to search for evidence of his corruption. Agent Walker provides support over the radio. Oh, so Skip's back? So they did decide to bring back old characters from MySims Agents, the Wii version. So the Skip is back, the mayor from the original MySims Agents. But there's another thing where we gotta investigate Skip. And Skip and the first MySims Agents, he was working for Morcubus. He was working for him too, doing stuff for him. So this is not surprising. Okay. Your headquarters. There is a new director at the SPA, Director Morgan. She is beautiful but intimidating. No nonsense type who is changing the way the agency operates. Walker doesn't seem comfortable with the new direction. Walker wants you to investigate a series of strange events happening all over the world. Morgan, however, believes it's a wild goose chase and wants you to focus on real crime, like Skip Rogers' case. Okay, so they want to investigate the mayor a little bit more, which is probably not a bad idea. So they adding more new people to work along the agency, the abandoned amusement park, and plus, the reason why they saying a bunch of crazy stuff is happening because at the end of MySims Agents, there's this thing after you finish all the dispatch missions, they show like a secret ending with Ebony on there. I think she got trapped. The Nightmare Crown did something at the end of the game that I can't remember, and Ebony had got trapped with Morpheus. But it's been a while since I played the game, so I'm gonna have to replay it again to remember. But spoilers if you haven't played MySims Agents, if you haven't finished it or played it, you know, I highly recommend you go and play those games to understand the story more. The abandoned amusement park. Secretly taking walkers missing, you travel to an abandoned carnival and re-establish contact with the undercover agent Victor. You discover that the strange events Walker discovered are related and that they give off strange energy signature that you can't quite identify. You also catch a quick glimpse of Dragomir. Who was that guy? Could be dangerous. Walker? Okay, so far some of the agents are coming back from the original MySims agents. So the guy who had hired us after we did our first case is Walker, and the other guy was Big Victor. You meet him and you meet him when you're trying to find the Yeti in the other place. Like, you fly to another place. I can't remember where it was at though. It's been a little minute since I played the game, so that's when you meet him. It's nice to see some of the agents are coming back. Okay. You take this information back to HQ, but something is wrong. All of your equipment is boxed up and Roxy and Jenny are locked out of the building. So Roxy and Jenny is the people who work at the headquarters, and it's one girl that sits at the desk and the other one is a scientist, and she give you all these cool tools. I think it's Roxy. She give you all the tools that you need, and help you on your investigation sometimes. So this kind of interesting. This is getting very interesting. They tell you that Mia came from the agency and cleared out the office. Morgan appears talking about restructuring. She's closing the branch and firing everyone who worked there. She leaves. Walker steps from the shadows. It's chaos. Good agents are being fired out over the world. Branches are closing. What is Morgan doing? Walker asks you to keep investigating the strange events. He is going to snoop around at SPA Central Command and figure out what's going on. He suspects that Morgan's two advisors, who almost never leave her side, might be influencing her decisions. Okay, so the castle rooms. Walker gives you a brand new detector which can track the strange energy signature you found. You use it to track down some wind that surrounded the castle runs over in the old country. Things are starting to get serious. People are acting strangely, and animals are turning on masters. Some people are even disappearing. Your adventures in the old country reveal that the evil Svetlana, I don't know how to pronounce it. Svetlana? I think that's her name. Okay, so Svetlana seems to be related to your case. She gives off a strong energy reading on your detector. Is she the one causing the strange behavior? Is she related to Dragomir? So is she like a new character or something that came from the crown that's causing all the chaos that's going on? The Nightmare Crown caused one of the people who was working on it. He had went through a transformation, and he wanted to hide him because some people thought he was a monster. But you gotta play MySims agents in order to like know more of this lore. But it's a fun game, so it's a lot of interesting stuff about the game. But you just have to play it in order to understand the story a little bit better. So maybe she did come out of that universe. Okay. Walker goes missing. You go to meet Walker in the usual location, but he does not show for the meeting. Instead, you find signs of a struggle. Tracking back the events of the struggle, you find a humble-looking building on the edge of the city. Going inside, you find a recorded message from Walker. If you're hearing this, then they already got me. The SPA can no longer be trusted. This building's location is secret. You're going to make it your new HQ. The agency isn't going to save the world. This time it's all up to you. Turns out the building actually goes underground for several floors and is ready to set up a brand new HQ. Calling in favors from Roxy, Jenny, Dr. Elf, Buddy, Vic, and anyone else who can help you. You begin to rebuild a new agency to stop the SPA and come back to go with threats. So basically, the old agency is falling apart because somebody else has took it over, I believe. Yeah, so now you have to take matters into your own hand and rebuild another agency with people who you previously worked with in the like the old MySims agents, and you're bringing them back. And this seems very interesting. It does relate to the end of MySims agents. All the chaos is breaking out because it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because the crown at the end of the game did something, and as a result, you get left on a cliffhanger. They thought everything was going back to normal at the end of the game also, but the name of the crown caused something else to happen out there. They went to go investigate and find it. So this does make a lot of sense. New cases, new locations. With your new team, you take on a series of cases all over the globe, scanning for trace evidence, wearing disguises, swinging from one precarious ledge to the next with your trusty grappling hook. You continue to track down the source of the strange behavior. You learn that the strange energy affecting everyone is seeping through portals from the nightmare. Oh, the nightmare realm. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so it's Dragomir and Siltlana are agents of the nightmare realm, and they have the power to control people's mind. You also discover that they are active in the SPA. They must be the advisors that are controlling Director Morgan. So the new people have these type of abilities that let them control people's mind, and as a result, they probably took over Walter's mind and other people's minds, and that's probably the reason why the people are going crazy and stuff. They probably brainwashed. I don't know, but that's probably why the people is going crazy. Firing our world for their master from the nightmare realm with Morgan in their pocket. The SPA can do nothing to stop them. Old enemy, new ally. You're one step away from putting the whole picture together, but you get attacked from behind and knocked out. You wake up in a building. You wake up in a holding cell in the main office of the SPA and are shocked to find workers in the cell with you. They turned on workers. What? Bro, they turned on him? Really? He had henchmen in the first game, and there was a bunch of people working for him. Now they turned on him? Really? They were so loyal to him, and they were risk getting figured out over him. They was just so reluctant to tell you what they were doing when they was working for him, working business. Now they just throwing him in jail all of a sudden. Really? The two of you have to work together to escape the SPA and confront Dragomir and Silk. I'm just call her S. Dragomir and S on the Marco Corp space platform. The space platform. You have to stop Dragomir and S and Morgan from using Marco Corp's experimental energy amplifier to spread their dark power over the entire world. You shut down the amplifier, but before you can stop them completely, you are shoved through a portal into the nightmare realm. Oh, this got interesting. Now you can go to the nightmare realm. Okay. See, this is actually making me kind of like, it's making me nostalgic, but then again, it's like a missed opportunity. They could have went on and go ahead and did part 2, because it sounded like it could have worked. This could have been this could have been the game to wrap the Sims agents story. This could have been the story that wrapped it up and finally completed it in the right way, because at the end of the first game, you aren't at the end of the first game, you really like get answers to what had happened due to the fact that they both got sent to that nightmare realm, and then they act like everything went back to normal, but it didn't. It left a lot of questions open. With this game, they could have closed everything off and it could have just ended. It could have ended perfectly. This universe could have ended perfectly. You got a bunch of answers, and then it contributes to more lore, about the nightmare realm than it did in the original game. It did have a lot of lore, but when you get a chance to like go deeper, and with this game being scrapped, it's just a giant missed opportunity to what MySims agents could have expanded into with this game. So that sucks. And there was a bunch of people that wanted this game made. It's just sad that it got scrapped and they didn't get a chance to work on it and make the game. The finale, the Nightmare Realm. It's a crazy world where up is down and down is up. It seems to be stitched together randomly from all over the places you went and went in Agents 2 and maybe one up 2 from Agents 1. Nightmare versions of MySims characters taunt you as you try to figure out how to navigate this crazy world. You find Agent Walker, who has been banished to the Nightmare Realm this whole time. Together you hatch a plan to open a portal back to the real world. So you find Agent Walker, he's fine. But I thought they just like brainwashed him probably, but he's fine. You open a portal, but before you can escape, Morgan comes through the portal to block you. She reveals that she is the master of the Nightmare Realm and that she has been controlling Dragomir and is the whole time. Not the other way around. You have to take on Morgan on her home turf to get back to the real world and close out the Nightmare Realm forever. Walker thanks you for saving the world. It looks like the SPA is going to need a new director who can reveal things after the damage Morgan did. Of course, since that's what you've been doing all along, Walker nominates you to be the new director of the SPA. And then Kaiser go on to say, there were a lot of fun ideas from the whole team and we love those characters. It's a shame it never got made. Love that there's still interest in those games all these years later. Anyway, if you want to check out the game I'm working on now, it seems I'm drawing 2 games with casts of point characters. Just looking, I guess. Hope you all finally enjoyed this little glimpse behind the scenes. And we're just left on the cliffhanger, Nothing else about it. So that kind of sucks that they didn't get a chance to work on, like, make the game for like something else. They got some nice completed concept art, nice looking backgrounds and stuff. Whoa, they got character designs of Morgan. Yeah, they got character designs of Morgan. They're very cartoony. I like them. They fit the MySims agents vibe too. It does. It's a shame that we didn't get a chance to experience this game, because without a part 2 to MySims agents, it just leaves a lot of unfinished story. It leaves an unfinished story, and it like doesn't complete the story completely at all without them doing a part 2. And by reading this, you can see that the MySims Agents 2 expanded more on what happened in part 1 at the end of the game. It expanded more, giving us like a glimpse of what could possibly happen. And then they bring back a bunch of old characters in the process. That could have been amazing. That could have sold very well if they would have just went with this one. Went with this game. This could have sold very well. But instead, they made MySims Skyheroes. I mean, I never played that. I played some more MySims games, but my favorite one till this day is MySims Agents. That's my favorite one, and nothing else is ever going to top MySims Agents. So I'm glad the fans finally got a chance to see what MySims Agents 2 could be like. You know, that part of our childhood is finally solved, and a lot of people can just like enjoy what was shared and put out. MySims Agents fans can finally rejoice that you know what MySims Agents 2 could have been like. And wow, that was a lot to take in. This made me so emotional because I don't know, it just expanded on a lot of stuff, and it all connected and it all made sense. But I'm really bummed that we didn't get a chance to play the game, like the physical story. We just got to just read it and just imagine it. You know, it's not the same. I don't know. But that's the story of MySims Agents 2. And the franchise is this year they're coming out with a new game after so many years, and it's nice to know that they're still going, like the company's still going and creating MySims games. And this is very good because they can introduce their franchise to a new generation, and I don't have a problem with that. And I can't wait to see what other games they could be making soon. But that's all I gotta say about MySims and MySims Agents. Let me know what you think about MySims Agents 2. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video.